Hey, Tim Sykes here, and I wanted to go over a recent blog post and what it really means because I don't think enough people actually truly understand this. So I titled this A Key Trait That You Need to Become a Millionaire. And I highlighted one of my students, Jeff, in his tweet. He says, account finally reached the 100,000 mark thanks to you, Tim Sykes. And this was about a month ago. And there were some good reactions to this blog post, but not enough people really took the gist of it, the meaning. So, I posted a few videos. Here's the whole conversation with Jeff. And one of my other students, Charlie, said, "That's awesome, man. Keep it up. Soon you'll have your first $100,000 trade regardless. This man's changed his lives." Thank you, Charlie. But this was a great reply from Jeff, and he says, "Yes, it's been fantastic. Lost a lot at first, then something just clicked, averaging a little over 10K a month." And just think about that for a second. And also, here's another message from my student, NH. And he messaged me on Facebook out of the blue. Didn't want his name public because, when you're talking about money, it's kind of weird. But here is what he said. He was a challenge student of mine, late 2013, 2014. During the first year, I managed to wipe my account out 5 or 6 times, though. I never stopped learning from my mistakes and your teachings. I'm not looking for you to publish it, though, so I have to say thank you. Today, after roughly 3 years, I hold an account of 320,000. I owe you more than you can imagine. Bought a house, bought my dream car. I just wish more people would understand that you are real. Thank you, and please do not publish if you do. I also just posted this. This kind of makes me think. This is my student Eric, who's also just bought a house, and he just bought a car for his wife. And you'll see this again and again where you use your trading profits to make your life better. Whether you want to buy a house or a car, or start a charity, or treat your loved ones, or treat yourself, or travel, whatever you want. I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money. I give you ideas, and I give you, examples of what some of my other students are spending their profits on. But I really want you focused on, doing what you have to do to get this. If you've seen my How to Make Millions DVD, which I hope you have, it's 35 hours. All goes to charity. $1.5 million now raised for charity, which is awesome. You go to howtomakemillions.com, you can get your copy. But one of the lessons I share in that is that, guess what? We are very visually motivated people. So if you see a house or a car, you want that for yourself or your family or whatever. Don't feel guilty. I see some people out there commenting like trading is not about money, it's for the challenge. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Because that is just ignorance. We're all not communists. We care about nice things. We want to live well. We want to treat our loved ones and help others. Why is that wrong? It really disgusts me, some of these comments that I see. And I'm trying to be more positive. I'm trying to have a better attitude, but I have to set the record straight. This kind of visual motivation, I don't care what kind of car it is. I don't care what kind of house it is. I don't care what motivates you to study. Whatever it takes, that's what you need to do. Don't ever be ashamed of what you want. Don't ever think you don't deserve it. And I want you to look at, what my students are saying here. This was my dad, by the way. I posted this video because he threw out the first pitch at the Red Sox game. And I was proud to get that for him. That was his Father's Day gift. And he threw the first pitch. Did I include it? Let's see. He threw out the first pitch to David Ortiz. Yeah. You'll see this. And, this has been my dad's dream for years. I mean, he's a lifelong Red Sox fan. Here's David Ortiz, Big Puppy. And he's up on the scoreboard. It's just awesome, right? Check this out. Look at his first pitch. And he practiced quite a bit for this. He pats to Tony Conigliario or whatever his name is, the number. And he's up on the big screen. And he throws out the first pitch to Ortiz. And he's loving it. And he tells me like he doesn't even remember what happened? Like it was pure adrenaline rush. So if you can do that for your friends, your family, or your loved ones, or if you want to, be crazy like me and get $1 million of cash on the bed that inspires you, do it. But I want you to have patience and I want you to get motivated. Half my job is just sharing motivation and inspiration so that you see that this stuff is real. I have so many people that hit me up and they're like, "Are you real? Are you real?" Well, I show every trade publicly that I've done for the past 2 decades. I show student after student who are in various stages of, whether they're making 300,000 or 100,000, and I have some millionaire students. This is real. But, the title of this blog post is a key trait you need to become a millionaire. And the key trait is not that you believe me or not. I don't even care if you believe me. My first millionaire student thought that I was full of BS, but then he studied and realized, I wasn't. Then he became a millionaire. The key trait that you need is patience. Okay? If you want to become a millionaire, it's not going to happen in one day, 1 week, 1 month, and probably not even 1 year. And if it does happen too quickly, you won't even appreciate it. That's why there's so many lotto winners that are screwed up, and these child stars who achieve way too much fame too soon, they're not equipped to deal with it. So the key trait that you need is patience. And, if you lose a little or even lose a lot like Jeff and NH, I mean, it's tough to wipe out your account. I don't know what kind of trades he was doing. He wasn't following my rule number 1 about cutting losses quickly. But even if you don't succeed at first, and even if you face some hardship and your friends and family are like, "Oh, you're not going to do anything in life," I hear stories from anybody. I don't think there's anybody in the world who hears as many stories about success and failure as I do. And I'm trying to share with you my conclusions. And it's that anybody can make $1 million. Any single person in the entire world can make $1 million. Any single person can have the dream life. Any single person can have all of their dreams come true. But there's a big but. Not everyone is going to do it. And most people will fail and give up. And that is not the right attitude. Okay? I talk a lot about attitude. Some people think, "Oh, you just need to make $1 million, just have the good, stock picks and just follow the best stock picks and you're fine. Attitude, nothing else matters." That's not right. Okay? The way that I have created more millionaires than anybody else. And if you ask my millionaire students themselves, my millionaire students are not just random people who made money and then, walked off into the sunset. They're also teaching. They're also giving live trading challenge webinars every single week. Tim Grittani, Michael Good, some upcoming millionaires, Mark Crook, who's made now roughly 600,000 with my strategy. They will tell you that it is not about following picks at all. In fact, following picks from me or anybody hurts you because you don't become reliant on yourself. You become reliant on others. And you're basically just like a little monkey chasing hot stocks around. And that's the vast majority of the world. And that's why the vast majority of the world, they're not millionaires. And they never will be because they have the wrong perspective. They have the wrong mindset. What you need to do if you want to truly become a millionaire is have perseverance and patience. Yes, like keep trying, keep learning, but look to see what you can do with your own brain and your own knowledge so that you can learn from every single trade, good or bad. That's why I share my alerts, and that's why I type out, my expectations and a plan so that you can learn to have your own plans. If you don't, you're never going to make it on your own. And even if you do make it on your own, it's going to be due to luck or, fraud or the wrong reasons. And you won't have lasting, truly great success. And that's what I want for all of you guys. This isn't like me just teaching you for 1 week or 1 month and then you being like, "Okay, Tim, I got it. See ya. Talk to you never." No, I mean, this is a process. And unfortunately, it does take time, but I need to retrain your brain. As a millionaire mentor, I need you thinking a certain way. Because if you don't, there's just no hope. It's tough enough to create millionaires from scratch, even if they do have the right attitude. But if you have the wrong attitude and the wrong mindset, forget about it. So people come at me with all kinds of excuses and attitudes, and I'm just like, whoa, whoa, let's just save ourselves a lot of time and back and forth and just don't talk to me. Okay, goodbye. Some people are surprised by that because some people are like, Tim, you should treat all your customers with respect. You know, we're your customers. The customer is always right. And that's wrong because you guys are not just my customers. You're my students. Unlike everybody else in this financial industry, I am actually here to create millionaires. I'm not here to sell you. I'm not here to make you, rich where you don't have the right mindset and you're not going to follow my instructions. I have limited amounts of time, limited amounts of patience. And if you join my trading challenge, which, you have to be accepted into, guess what? You spend every single week with me and my top students on live webinars. You really think I need one more student that badly where I'm just going to let anybody in and give you access to myself and my top students? Hell no. I mean, this is hard work teaching. Right now, I'm just making a little video lesson, but to do live trading webinars and answer questions every single week, week in, week out, and some trading challenge students send a whole bunch of emails too. If I'm going to deal with you and you're going to deal with me for an extended amount of time, I want to make sure that you have the right perspective. And it is so, so key that we go over this in the beginning because this is not just about you being a customer. I love how some people think, oh, I don't like your rules, Tim. I don't like, your grammar, your attitude. I've heard excuses galore. But guess what? It's okay. Nobody is forcing you to learn from me. Nobody is forcing you to follow my lessons. Nobody is forcing you to have the right mindset that I think that you need. You can just ignore all of that. This is a free world. But if you actually want to become my next millionaire student, it's not a free world. That's the thing. And I want to make myself very clear because, again, I'm trying to be nicer to everybody, but I'm not going to tolerate people with the wrong attitude and with the wrong ideas. Some people are like, shut up, Tim, with all these long videos. You're ranting. Just give me hot stock picks. Whoa. I'm ranting because I want to try and get you thinking the right way because it's very weird, okay? There's no easy way to say this. A lot of my top lessons, a lot of the ways that you need to be and the ways that you need to study, it's very counterintuitive. I feel like kind of like Mr. Miyagi, and I'm trying to get you to like wax on, wax off like this car, and you're like, Daniel-san, you're like, why am I waxing your car? Like, this is stupid. This is a waste of time. And little do you know that I'm training you with the right tools that you need and the right perspective. I cannot say tools, mindset, perspective, attitude enough because that is more than half the battle. You might not think it, but it really is. You need to learn to think on your own. And in order to do that, you need to learn from history. I'm basically just a glorified history teacher. Okay? These guys, Jeff, NH, they could do this on their own. They could learn every single thing that I've taught them on their own in 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 years. But what I'm trying to do is bring up historical pattern, historical lesson that I've learned, one after another, over and over and over again, so that you can really kind of feel the heartbeat of the stock market and where the opportunities are, because it's always changing. It's always adapting. Right now, low float runners are what's hot. A few months ago, it was billionaire plays. A few months before that, it was Homeland Security. A few months before that, it was Ebola. So I'm always adapting to whatever's working best in the markets. And, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. But you need to get on that same kind of mindset, that same kind of momentum train too. And that's what my job is, So I want to be very clear about this up front. If you don't think this is for you, it's fine. I'm not going to be offended. But I train people a very certain way. And that's what my trading challenge is about. That's what my teaching style is about. And it's been very effective. So I look forward to creating more millionaire students. I look forward to finding more dedicated students. You can do this from anywhere in the world. All you need is internet access. If you're under 18, it's tougher because you need a custodial account and you need parental permission. But, education has no limits. All I'm doing is teaching you and giving you information that I learned the hard way over the past 2 decades. So take it or leave it, but I'm going to keep teaching. And I know that I'm going to keep getting, through to a few of you. Even if just one person watches this video and says, you know what, Tim, I get it now. I understand you better. Then my mission is accomplished. If 2 people get it, or 5, or 100, or 1,000, even better. But I'm not going to change the way I teach, and I don't want you to get the wrong idea, and I want you to give my teachings time. Because some people, you have losses at first, and then something just clicks. Some people, it takes a few years. It's different for everybody. I don't control how much you study. You're in control. You can watch my video lessons. You cannot watch my video lessons. I keep making them. I keep pounding them out. You can tune into my webinars if you're a Trading Challenge student live. You can watch the webinars archived if you're a challenge student. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, we have so many webinars from me and my millionaire students. You have such a great library of knowledge. It's up to you to utilize it. This is not like a Clockwork Orange where I have some contraption on your head, trying to open your eyes and trying to brainwash you. You're in control of your destiny. You're in control of your future. All I can try and do is give you, like a little helping hand, a little push. And that's what I'm trying to do. But don't ever think that this is going to happen overnight. And don't ever think that I want another student so desperately that I'm just going to tolerate any BS or any negativity or any attitude whatsoever. I don't need you. You need me. And I want to make that very clear from the get-go so that we're on the same page. I don't say it to be a dick. I say it so that you understand me right now, right as you're watching this, so that we don't have any, disagreements or confusion later on if you do pursue this path of trying to become my next millionaire student. I appreciate every single student. I'm grateful for every student, but I also am going to teach you my way of thinking. You're not going to teach me your way of thinking, okay? Some newbies who've made like $10, $20, $30,000 and they start thinking that they know everything, and they're like, "Oh, Tim, you're trading way too cowardly. Like you should get on my side. I've made so much more than you in the past few weeks." Trust me, newbie, and I've had this conversation a few times before. Whether you make 10,000, 20,000, even 30, even 100,000, okay? Until you make several $1,000,000 and until you've seen bull markets and bear markets and talked to as many traders and students as I have, you're not going to teach me much of anything that I don't already know. And many assumptions that newbies make based off a few trades are going to come back and bite them later on. I'm not saying I'm all-knowing. I'm not saying that there's nothing left for me to learn. There's a lot for me to learn, and I am very far from all-knowing. I still make mistakes on a daily basis. But what I have learned is, the compounding effect of nearly 20 years experience. So until you have that experience, until you have everything that I have in my head, frankly, trust me, okay? Trust me and don't trust yourself, because I'm here to help. It does me no good to get a student, and let's say you do have the right mindset, in week 1 or month 1, and then, 2 months in, 3 months in, 6 months in, something happens where you lose on a trade, you broke the rules, or sometimes maybe I'm wrong on a trade, and you just, give up on your studying. That does me no good, okay? Education takes a while, and I hate seeing people fail in the beginning, give up too early, or fail really at any time, because, even as NH shows, I mean, this took him 3 years to make 300,000, but he lost his account a few times in the beginning, but he never stopped. So that's what I'm looking for. If you want to be my next millionaire student, you can never stop learning. And that's not a bad thing. It's not that you're going to have to work all the time. It's not that you're always going to be a slave to the markets or to me or to education. You just need to have that mindset that you're always learning. You're never too experienced. You're never too rich to keep learning from the current market, adapting, and trying to get better. So that's my spiel for today. I'm going to go focus on making my new Trader Checklist DVD, but I wanted to share with you this because attitude counts for so much. Thank you.